My aunt stole my college fund and used it to pay for her wedding, so I exposed her to the whole family. When I was 10, my parents started a college fund for me. Every birthday, every holiday, they would add a little more, making sure I would have a future. My dad, always so proud, would show me the bank statements, promising that one day I'd be the first in our family to go to college. It was our dream, my dream. But that dream shattered the day I found out my aunt, the woman I trusted, had taken everything. She didn't just steal money. She stole my future. It all started when my aunt, my dad's sister, announced her engagement. Everyone was thrilled, but the excitement turned to confusion when she started planning a lavish wedding, far beyond what anyone thought she could afford. My dad was a man of modest means, and my aunt had always struggled financially. Yet there she was, booking a venue in the most expensive part of town, hiring the best caterer, and buying a designer dress that cost more than my parents' car. None of it made sense, until I found out where the money had come from. One night, I overheard my parents arguing in the kitchen. My dad was yelling, something I had never heard him do before. He was demanding answers from my mom, asking how this could have happened. My mom was crying, trying to calm him down, but the tension was thick. I crept closer to the door, my heart pounding in my chest, and that's when I heard the words that would change my life forever. She took all of it, everything we saved for our son. I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. I was numb, unable to process what I had just heard. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, some horrible misunderstanding, but deep down, I knew it was true. The next day, I confronted my parents. They tried to protect me, but I forced them to tell me everything. My aunt had somehow convinced my dad to give her access to the account, promising to help manage the funds while he was busy with work. She had always been close to our family, helping out whenever she could, so my dad didn't think twice about it. But the moment she had the chance, she drained the account dry, spending every penny on her wedding. She even bragged about how she finally got to have the wedding of her dreams. I was devastated. The future I had worked so hard for, the future my parents had sacrificed for, was gone. I felt betrayed, not just by my aunt, but by the whole world. My grades slipped, my friends noticed I wasn't myself, and I couldn't bear to tell them why. The idea of college, once a bright light in my life, became a source of pain and anger. I avoided my aunt at family gatherings, the sight of her making my blood boil. Then came the day of the wedding. I didn't want to go. I couldn't stand the thought of watching her walk down the aisle, wearing my future on her back. But my dad insisted, saying it was important to keep up appearances for the sake of the family. Reluctantly, I agreed, but I knew I couldn't let her get away with it. During the reception, I felt a surge of rage I couldn't contain any longer. I had spent months planning, collecting evidence, piecing together every lie she had told. I approached the microphone, my hands trembling, my heart pounding in my chest. I cleared my throat, the room falling silent as everyone turned to look at me. I started by congratulating my aunt on her beautiful wedding, the words bitter in my mouth. Then I dropped the bombshell. I told everyone how she had stolen my college fund, how she had betrayed our family, and how she had lied to everyone to cover it up. The room erupted in shocked gasps, my aunt's face turning pale as the truth came crashing down on her. She tried to deny it, but I had the proof, the bank statements, the emails, everything. My parents stood by me, their faces a mix of pride and sorrow. My aunt's husband, who had no idea about any of this, looked at her in disgust and walked out, leaving her alone in the chaos she had created. The family turned on her, demanding answers, and as she broke down in tears, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. It wasn't just about getting revenge, it was about reclaiming what was taken from me. In the weeks that followed, my aunt tried to apologize, but the damage was done. She lost everything, the respect of the family, her marriage, and any chance of ever being trusted again. My parents fought to get back some of the money, and while it wasn't much, it was enough to keep my dream alive. I worked hard, earning scholarships and taking part-time jobs, determined to prove that no one could take my future away from me. In the end, I got into college, and as I walked across the stage to receive my diploma, I felt a sense of triumph. I had faced betrayal, suffering, and loss, but I came out stronger. My aunt's betrayal had nearly destroyed me, but it also taught me the power of resilience. As I held that diploma in my hands, I knew that I had won. Not just against her, but against the darkness she brought into my life. And that was a victory I would carry with me forever.